What's up, guys? It's Quicksilver, and today I'm not even going to monkey around with any sort of real introduction. We are standing on top of the fledgling wood farm. We're going to go ahead and at least make some serious headway on this thing, if not get it completely sorted out. When last I left you, I think I had just filled in these back two logs here and thrown the roof on this sucker, but I think all of our redstone work is done as far as the tree crusher pusher thing goes. But at this point we need to, well, I say it's finished, it's not really finished, we have a lot of work still to do on it. But yeah, I think without further ado, let's go ahead, I'll get some materials and we'll get started building this thing. Alright guys, so the first thing we got to tackle is we actually have to get our piston pushers that are going to move our wood away from here. So once we have the pushers from back here pushing our trees out of here, we want our pistons to come into play that are going to shove the wood away from here. Now this is, in the last video I mentioned that I was going to depart a little bit from what Mumbo does in his tutorial. By the way, this is indeed a Mumbo Jumbo tutorial that has inspired me to do this. I'll have a link down in the description so that you guys can check it out. Great tutorial. Guy does a lot of good stuff. If you don't know about him, check him out, absolutely. But yeah, so I guess as you can tell, the first thing I'm going to do is right here, this first block inside here, so it doesn't line up with the I don't want to get down from here to show you guys, but I want to show you guys it doesn't line up with the wood pushers here that we've got set up, but it's going to line up here instead, one block further away from those. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep pushing these suckers up here, and once we get to the top there, we are done with that. So at this point we've got to go ahead and we've got to get our redstone wired up here. Dang, that never works out that nicely. And to do that, we're just going to pick the signal up off of the back of these guys. So alright, let's go ahead and we'll pull this signal off of here. I don't think I need any more of those guys for now. I don't know, I have my ender pearls in there. Sorry guys, let me clean this up a little bit, because I don't need those guys in there either. So alright. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead, I guess we'll start working from the top down. So we want to go ahead and we want to pull our signal off of this guy. So we're going to go ahead and put a block there. And yeah, you know what? I might have made this thing a little too close here, but we'll go ahead. We're going to just go with it right now. I will look in just a minute to make sure I didn't screw that up, but I don't want to slow this down anymore, especially after my little brain fade. I'm going to throw a repeater on this sucker. I'm going to go ahead, I think I want that on 2 ticks if I'm not mistaken, and then we'll throw our line going into that to feed it into the repeater. So then let's do the same thing here. And yeah, you guys may have to cut me a little bit of slack, man, tonight. It is really late. I'm a night owl, and that's just kind of what I do. I always forget I can do that. Just place them on the side of the redstone. So again, 2 ticks, and throw that guy there. And last but not least, I'm going to dig my way down here, put it in line there, place it on the edge of the redstone. Try not to do that with your repeaters. Oh, come on, man. Really? You can do me like that? Alright, well, we'll get that guy in a minute. Nope, maybe we'll get him right now. Sweet. Alright, so there we go. That should have that little piston pusher set up now. Yeah, I've got that in the right place. So I think we should be in good shape. I think because we have the repeaters there that should be on 2 ticks. I think because we have those things next to those pistons, what I was worried about was I was going to do may have some cross wiring, but I don't think that's the case. So, alright, I think we should be in good shape there. Let me go ahead and I'm going to check my piston timings off cam here really fast, so I will be right back. Alright guys, looks like we are in good shape there. So I think the next thing that I'm going to want to do is I want to go to my long piston side. So there are 2 sides to this thing. We have one that has a 5 block leaf crusher system here, and the other only has 4, which actually is easier to see from in here than it is from out there. So we want to go over here to the side that has 5, the long one, and we want to knock out our middlemost piston here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. We'll take that guy out, and the one to the left of it as well, and I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff out here and here as well. And this is where maybe I did mess up. Maybe to build this thing underground and didn't even realize it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and place that here. Then I know I want to put a normal block here. I'm going to go ahead and use the same one that I've been using in here, so that would be the stone bricks. Really? Thank you. Then I'm going to throw that torch there. Then I'm going to knock this guy out, and then I'm going to throw in a half slab here, and then I'm going to throw a redstone dust on that. Now this is actually to help set up the bud switch that we're going to use to detect when a tree is planted. So that is why that has been done, and I think at that point this is actually where we will come in when we are planting our trees. So mission accomplished. Looks like I am going to be coming in from the correct side from where the base is, as opposed to having to run around this thing. And then the other mission accomplished, as long as this totally works. When the wood comes out here, it should get shoved this way. Then we will pick it up again and we'll shove it back this way, and then we'll have a bunch of repeaters. Man, like I said, you guys got to be able to tell I'm tired. I'm going to have a bunch of pistons that are going to shove everything this direction, so that we'll have one giant block of wood that we can carve out. Alright guys, just realized I was missing some stuff that I would need to continue this. So next thing we need to do is we're going to take out this block right there, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this piston out of there as well, so that we'll have access to what we need. And then went ahead and one of the things that I was missing was went ahead and made a dispenser that's going to go in here. So that should give us the access that we need now to get to it. Yep, from the timer that we're going to build back here eventually here. And then that should give us a little bit more accurate picture of what we're going to have here. I will set it up so that we're controlling that thing from right over here. And yeah, so we're looking pretty good at this point. I think that at least gets the dispenser in place. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to put in our tree pusher. And we need to have the bottom block here. I guess it needs to be a transparent block. I'm not exactly sure why, but again, I'm following a tutorial, so we're just going to go with that. And then the rest of those, obviously we want to keep those as oak wood blocks so that we don't screw up the detection of the trees to think that they can grow in here. So I think actually that might be the end of what we need to do inside this thing. Well, no, that's not true, because we still need to worry about placing our dispensers, our hoppers, I guess, in the bottom to collect our trees. But for the time being, we are going to go ahead and we're going to find this guy, which is our dispenser, and we're going to place a hopper, or a dropper rather, facing upward into that guy. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys in there, and then see if we can't do a little magic. You know me, guy. If you follow me, you know I can't stand doing this. This is like one of the biggest pains in the asses. So, alright, I'll get this right eventually, right? Actually, let's do this. Maybe this will make life easier. Nope. Alright, I'll go ahead and I'll get this thing placed. I'm tired. I'm going to blame this on being tired, right? So I'll be right back, guys. There we go, guys. Success. Just had to destroy a little treeage here in order to make that happen. So, but that's okay, because that's easy to replace. I just needed to be able to jump up in the air while I was looking down so that I could place that sucker. So then I guess the next thing that we want to do, I think I can get rid of this guy, that guy, and that guy. Yeah. And then I want to go ahead and we want to feed some hoppers, I guess, into that, just until we get to here. So now I've got to go commit damn near suicide, because we got to climb on top of this thing. Ooh, or can I do it? Nope, can't get in there. Yep, I'm going to have to go to all the way to the top, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place a chest on top of that guy. Actually, you know what? I might be able to do some of this before I jump in there and hurt myself. See if we can't do that from the side here. Now, helps hold down shift. You know, I knew this, right? And then we're going to place a dropper on top of that, or hopper on top of that. Maybe get another chest in here before I have to before I have to do anything else. And maybe I should go to bed, guys. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and at this point I'm just going to go ahead and block up here and just drop right down in here. Hold down, I guess I can't hold down shift here, can I? Not yet anyway. Oh, that worked out beautifully. So now I'm just going to do this number a few more times, And what we are doing right here, and then I'm going to throw a chest on top of that. What that is that is how we're going to get bone meal into the system. I may work something around here so that we don't have to climb up here in order to get bone meal into the system again. Not too tough to ender pearl up on top of this thing, but I think it might be a little inconvenient. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there, and we will worry about it later. Alright guys, so the next thing we need to do now that we've got our bone meal taken care of is we want to get around, I guess it's back here. Yeah, behind the dispenser again. And we need to get, let me see, I guess we want to take out, it's going to be that guy and that guy for the piston pushers down here, which is okay. And then we want to make this little guy happen like that. And what we're going to create now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create our timer. I wonder if I can do that from above. Oh, nope, it's going to trap me down here. Can I get over here still? Yes, okay, good deal. Alright, so to create our little timer here, this is a really cool little trick. I've never seen this before, and maybe it's just I'm drunk or something, I don't know. I've never actually seen this in use before, but it is a great little timer. It's a fast timer. Based on the principles, I've seen a similar timer to this done before, or a similar clock rather, I should say, done by this before. But the problem is it always burns out when you do that. But when you place here and here as well, when one of them burns out, the other ones pick up the slack. Now, as you can tell, we have this really annoying ticking that's going to be going on now. Honestly, it would be going on for the rest of the build, except that I know a little trick. We can do this, and then it will shut up. So we don't have to listen to that the whole time. So that gives us our timer, and what that's going to do is when we have bone meal in here and we flick the lever, similar to what I've placed here, we'll actually wire that around over to here so that we can access it. But when we flip the lever, it will turn off the bud switch. Basically, it'll do what it's doing now. It'll make it shut up, and it will turn off the ability for this thing to detect trees. So that is that. Okay guys, for this next little bit, I guess in the last video I mentioned that we would be tearing out most of this floor. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do that right now, including that little piece of glass, because it's just going to make life a little easier when we're trying to work underneath this thing. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. And I think that's going to give us everything we need. We'll just go run around the sides here now. This is going to be a little bit annoying because we'll have to keep doing a bunch of that. Oh, and we can't even get through on that side anymore. Uh-oh. Can we get down there? Yes, okay, good, we can. Okay, so let me get a block out of here. Bear with me for a sec, guys. Want to make sure we're not trapped down here forever. Alright, good. Okay, so now we can get behind here. So the next thing we need to do is we're gonna place a sticky piston underneath this. We're gonna finish out the rest of the bud switch to detect whether we've placed a tree up here, and also give us the ability to I guess power up our system here to be able to get our trees actually crushed and processed and out of there. Sorry, again, brain fade. So then I think the next thing we need to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn this annoying tick back on here. Actually, before I do that, let's turn our volume all the way down so you don't have to listen to it, and I don't have to listen to it. So that gives us that. So okay, the next thing we need to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to set it so this thing is constantly being checked for updates. We're going to put a repeater there. We're going to take redstone and we're going to put it here and there. And now, as you see, when you do it that way, we get that little piston just constantly pulsing in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. When we do it this way, it shuts off. However, if we place an item, I guess we can place it on the side, but we'll place it on top like a tree would. You'll see that that piston extends because it detects that there's a block on top of it. So that gives us our bud switch, or completes the rest, I guess, of our bud switch, so that we can actually detect when a tree has grown. Now we need to actually do something with that bud switch, because it doesn't do us much good to know, okay, hey, look, a tree's grown. We've got to actually be able to do something with it. So the next little bit we're going to do here is we're going to take a redstone block and we're going to throw it on that sucker. Then we are going to take some redstone and we are going to put a dot here and a dot here. Then we're going to carry this around this way. And actually, you know what, I think I want to throw down a repeater here. I think it's got to be on 2 ticks, and then a block here, And if I'm not completely insane, we'll throw that little bit of redstone there, and I think that's going to keep us. Oh, that traps me down here. Alright, you know what? We're going to do this. We can always throw this stuff back in. This is easy. That's easy stuff to deal with. But if I'm not mistaken, that should wire up this whole side, the double piston extender on this side, or at least half the double piston extender, and then the leaf crusher here. And then I think we're just going to do the same thing over here. And I apologize, guys, because I am just feeling so uber confident I'm not even going to bother to check to see if I'm doing it the right way. I'm just going to do it, and we're going to live with the consequences if I'm wrong, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and throw a repeater down here. Oh, come on, man, not a sword block, a repeater. Then we'll throw a normal block back there if I can reach it. Yes, okay, good. We're going to jump out and about over here. And I think, let's do a little quick testy test in here. If I've done everything right, we should be able to throw this in here and get everything stuck. I think I'm doing this too soon. Let's see if I can't get back down here again. Yeah, okay, good. But when I pull this off of there, everything should retract, which is exactly what we want. So, all right, man. Looks like we've got things working pretty daggone well. Let me go double check down the tutorial. I think the next thing we want to do is actually throw down our sapling catchers here. So let me go check on that, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Two things. Number one, I was a little bit too quick back here. Just something to note, I did put these on 2 ticks. They do not be on any ticks. These repeaters that we have down here that are feeding into these blocks should be on no ticks. Not sure it would make a huge difference, but I also figured out why my little test there wasn't completely working. It was locking the system. I did not have this bottom block in. Now bear in mind, you don't want this. This is going to need to be either a transparent block or a wood block here. I've just gone ahead temporarily and I have tossed in a stone block because what was happening was the bud switch was staying powered because the block that was on it was never getting removed. By putting this down here, the sticky pistons will grab a hold of it, and if I place this block on here now, we can see the whole system activated. So that is exactly what we wanted. Life is good. I think this is working out pretty well now. So at this point, we want to actually take our I don't know why I left that on there. I think I'm going to actually take my signal off of here now. So we're going to actually wire this thing around to the front so that we can use it at our leisure whenever we feel like it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that actually all the way over to here, and then I'm going to do this number. And I want to be able to see that from right here, so I'm going to throw a block here. Actually, I'm going to throw a block here with our lever on it, so it's a little closer, we can reach it a little easier, and everything should be hunky-dory. So, if I throw a lever there, I think we can pick that signal up here. Man, it's funny the way your mind works when you're tired. There we go. Levers, not bow and arrows. Let's actually move that because I'm going to need some of those guys. So if I throw a lever on that, yeah, I figured that would power us. I'm going to go ahead, since that's doing that what we want it to there. Just going to push this all the way through here. And actually, let's feed our power into it right here with a repeater. And then let's get another repeater here so that we're not feeding it backwards. And then there we go. So there we have the whole system stopped. Let's go ahead and turn our volume back up just so we can hear things now again. Says we don't have that obnoxious ticking going on anymore. Now what should happen is when we come down here to use this thing, I guess this is my floor height, so I'll tear out a little of this, do a little terraforming to make this look a little better. That turns the system on. And yeah, as you can tell, sounds like things are working. So I think at this point we're really just looking at some finishing touches to make sure we capture all of our saplings. I'm probably going to have to make a bunch more of the hoppers here. Actually, I got to get this solid block out of here too before I forget about it. I missed my jump. Wow. Oh my god. There we go. So now that that's out of there, we need to protect this hopper. We don't want anything going in there and screwing up our bone meal system. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just place a log. Hello, logs. Really? I don't have any logs in my inventory? How did that happen? Oh, yeah, I do. I'm just going blind. Hate when that happens, man. It probably drives you guys nuts, too. I know when I'm watching other YouTubers and I see that happen, I'm just like, no, look to the right, man. God, come on. So, alright, let's go ahead and let's get it set up so that we can actually capture the saplings. In fact, I don't have enough planks for it, so we'll just do it this way. Get out of there. There we go. We want 2. I guess I only need 1 chest. Oh well. So we have 3 chests now. No big deal. So alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear out that block right there. And I'm going to tear out this block right here. That's not right. If I tear that block out, these pistons aren't going to work right. You know what? Let me see what Mumbo did here. I know, I'm wondering if I even need these because they're so low. Might be able to just tear those out. Give me just a sec, guys. Let me check and see. I don't want to mess anything up here, but I also want to make sure I'm getting all my saplings. So I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Sorry about that. I'm cracking up. I didn't realize that you could open a chest if it's underneath a piston. So, good to know. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pop that guy there. Actually, I should have done that on this side first, too. And then we'll pop that block out behind it. And let me see. You know what? As my penance for screwing that up, we'll go ahead and pop that back in there, and then we'll pop it back out again. And let's go run around over here. Want to get back in here where our floor is, and let's go ahead on the, let's see if we can't get to the far side. Well, actually it might be easier to do it here. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to put the floor back in with just filled with hot, uh-oh, did those connect together? Yeah, no, those look good. We're going to go ahead and put the floor back into place here and just make sure that everything is feeding into that chest up front. And then we're going to go over here to this side. We're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to place anything over this redstone block. There's really no reason to. Oh, and that's also where our, where I'm going to get stuck. You know what? We can easily replace that. So we're going to do that. So this way I can replace the floor. Like I said, this was a lot easier to do in, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're perfect on that. That never happens. Never. Alright, it's a sign from the wood gods of Minecraft, right? I'm going to go ahead and get our pusher back into place here, I think. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and put our glass back down here. And I think, by George, we may have a tree farm, kids. If I turn all that on, yeah. So then anything that falls, we should be able to pick up in these 2 chests. And I think we are in pretty good shape. Alright, give me a minute, guys. I'm going to go get some bone meal. So go to the skeleton farm and grab some of that. Come back down here and let's give this thing a proper look. Alright, guys, it's the moment of truth. I have fed a boatload of bone meal into the chest at the top there, so we should have tons of that in there. My only concern, really, everything else is pretty much Mumbo's design. I'm pretty confident that's going to work beautifully. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is making sure that this little wood pusher that I've got working here is actually going to work the way that we need it to. But so this will be our moment of truth to make sure that that works. Let's go ahead and turn it on and give it a shot here. Come on, baby, grow. We'll have to throw a few of these things in there. And let's make sure, I think one more, and we can probably check to see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to do around the side. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn it off and see what it's done. If the wood pusher is moving it, and it looks like it is, so we have got it, guys. Not sure where these crazy leaves came from out here, but oh, I guess they're getting pushed around maybe. Okay, well, alright, I guess no, they should be getting pushed around. They should be getting crushed. Alright, I'm not sure what their deal is, but I do know that the system usually leaves some up in here, some of the leaves anyway, and that is fine. I am seeing some random saplings kind of tossed around out here that I don't like. But hopefully we can fix that, because I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fill in everything that we can here. so that we don't have to see any of this stuff. There's certainly some gaps over here on the side that I think we can cover over. Well, maybe not. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Most of this can be covered up by wood, and I don't care anyway because this is awesome. So let's see. I don't like those guys floating around there that I can't grab either. We've got sapling in there, 3 in there. So let's see. I planted. It was, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees, and we've had. Looks like we've had 4 of them returned to us. But if we could get to those 2 guys, we'd be in even better shape. I wonder if there's a way to do that, because clearly there's a dead area in there where we're not grabbing trees. I guess that's one way to do it, right? I wonder where those guys are falling. I wonder if you know what? I bet they're falling on top of these guys. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer, but I don't know. No, I'm not going to worry about it too much, guys. There's only so much you can do. You know, with that said, I came down here with 27 trees. I have 28 on me, so I think we're actually getting more trees than we're using. So that's really great. So all right, it looks like we have got a working tree farm. If I can get out of there. Looks like we've got a working tree farm, so I guess at this point I need to do a little bit of terraforming, and we need to beautify this thing, because right now that is one ugly building. And actually, you know what, before I do that, let's go ahead and build in the, I guess, the piston pushers that are going to happen back here to push the wood over, and then to push out a solid block of wood. So yeah, I definitely am going to have a bunch of terraforming to do. But and I actually got to make a whole mess of pistons as well. So anyway, I think this video might be getting a little bit long, but I think it's important that we get that done. So I may go ahead and just build those things off cam. I don't think, and just kind of show you how I've got it wired up. It's nothing too kooky, and like I said, Mumbo does cover it really well in his tutorial down there. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, here's what we've done for the first part of this to get the wood that's moving this way to now move this way for our big wall that we're going to build. Basically, I wanted to align the piston heads, I guess, with the wood, so when the wood gets pushed, it's going to come to right here, and then these things are going to take over and shove it out. So it's right in line with this last row right here, with the, I guess, with the piston wall that's shoving in. So that's where that is, and then it's 2 blocks away, so there was an air gap between the blocks that are powering the piston wall and where I actually placed these pistons. It's 7 blocks high. It's just the same height as the other pistons that we've got in here. Then behind it, in order to power it, we wanted to build 2 blocks. You go to the second piston up, 2 blocks back, 1 block up, and then 1 block back over here. We placed a repeater here on 4 ticks feeding into this block, another repeater coming out of it with set to no ticks, and then redstone feeding into the pistons. And basically they all work the same way all the way up. So that should be all that we need for those. Yeah, I believe this is powering these 2, this is powering these 2, and this is powering these 2. Let me double check and make sure I don't have these built off 1 block too high. Actually, I don't think that I do, but let me go ahead and double check just to make sure. Okay guys, wow, that is a lot of freaking pistons. I had to actually make a couple trips to build more of them because I thought I had enough and then I didn't. Wiring at the back of this thing is not too bad. The way that Mumbo explains it is, I don't know, it looks a little more complicated than it really is back here, but he does a really great job of explaining how to do this in his tutorial. In a nutshell, it was find this repeater that was right here. Well, find this repeater, I guess, that was here before. Throw it on this block, block up here, block back down there. We're pulling our signal here off of this block that's getting powered here. Then we are in turn, I hope we can see it well from here. Yeah, okay, there we go. In turn, so that repeater or that redstone dust is hitting this block, and then we're pulling the signal out of it with this repeater, and then this is just a long line of redstone dust that goes all the way down to the end of our pushers here and does the same thing all the way up. And again, it's kind of a wonky one because we're powering it from the side like that. We have to add the extra row up top here, and like I said, Mumbo does a great job of explaining how to deal with that. But let's go ahead and give this thing another little test. I would like to make sure that those things are pushing things around the way that they should be. and I can't think of any better way to test them than to actually go ahead and get this thing fired up and make sure it's actually doing it. Oh, one other thing that I need to do, I don't know what I'm going to do right now, but right here, oops, hello, redstone dust, I want those. Right here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put in some, probably just a line of obsidian, because this wall of trees right here, if my timing is wrong and things are firing improperly, it's just going to push them right through this redstone, which will be a pain in the butt to have to go ahead and rebuild. So I'm going to go ahead, actually, before I even get that thing going, because if I do have anything wrong with my timing, this is probably going to be when I'm going to find out that there's something seriously wrong. So I'm going to go get some obsidian really fast. I hope I have it. If I don't, I'll just use forges or something else that can't be moved by pistons. But we'll get that all up to speed, make sure that everything's working. See you in a sec. Okay guys, I just so happened to have some obsidian, so I did go ahead and just popped in 7 blocks of obsidian there. So let's go ahead now and give this thing a proper test. Get her fired up, and let's just see what we get here. Oh, you know what? That's really obnoxious. Let's immediately do that. Man, look at all those trees that are lost back in there though. Come on, grow. Wow. There it goes. Tell you, man, these things are a little more resistant to bone meal than they used to be. You know what? That's interesting. I think those trees are getting pushed around when the walls go in, so I think we are capturing those things. I have 21 in my inventory now, so I do want to try and keep an eye on that. Yep, 20, 21 again. So seems like we're pretty much breaking even when we're placing these guys in there. Wish the bone meal were a little quicker for me, but you know, I guess there's really nothing you can do about that. Alrighty, I think after this one we should have enough in there. They should have at least been pushed around a little bit. So let's go take a quick look back here and see where things stand. Wow, lots of those is where it stands. Yep, it looks like it's working. So see, we've got the cube forming here. Obviously this thing did its job to push over at least one row of them, so that we have these 4 working their way back. So right now we are 2 blocks thick, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want, guys. The only thing that I'm thinking about doing now is I may move these down a little bit, down a little bit to power it, so that we can cover over that stuff, because I think that will keep some of these saplings from popping down in there. And as it stands, I don't know. Well, you know, I could probably throw half slabs over top of them, so maybe I won't worry about that. I just wanted to do something to cover that stuff up. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this thing. So alright, I think I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call that a video. I will go ahead and get some work done with this thing. But yeah, I'm going to definitely call that a video for now. I guess next video we will work on cleaning this thing up so it doesn't look like this wood monstrosity, or wood producing monstrosity that we currently have. Although I guess from a technical point of view, it's not really that bad looking. I think it's probably a little worse from this side than it is from the other, which is unfortunate, but I didn't feel like mirroring or flip-flopping the whole of Mumbo's design. So anyway, yeah, I think that's going to look pretty cool once we, it's going to give us an interesting shape once we get it full of wood, especially. It's going to look cool. So anyway, if you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out a bunch, and if you've not already subscribed, please do subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.